before we start this video, I want to give a big shout out to my KOG members of the month, Blue Cat and Run2127. You guys are awesome, just saying. If you want your name here, consider hitting that join button for exclusive channel benefits. How's it going, guys? RNG Life here, and today Kite has shown up as a roaming duelist, meaning you're not going to be able to unlock him. He'll show up every once in a while, kind of randomly, and if you beat him enough, you can potentially farm 2 new cards. Now, I've been farming him for the past 8 hours. I am not kidding. I have worked on like 8 different decks. Tried Duel, I've tried Lunalights, and he has an answer to most things. And other times the decks that I use, they're just not consistent enough because I'm missing the skill, or I just don't have enough resources in Zexal World, contained in Zexal World, to be able to farm him. And I figured a lot of you guys might have that same issue as well. So I finally, after 8 hours, have just kind of looked through the internet. I was like, screw it, I am done trying to make my own farm. I found one online and it's actually pretty good. I tried upgrading it, I tried downgrading it for people who are missing certain cards, and I'll be showing you that. But dude, I've tried so many builds and it's been insane. Let's talk about his rewards though. He does, is he worth farming first? Is he worth going through what I just did to farm? Probably not. Because you're only really gonna get one of these 2 cards, or these 2 cards, if you're lucky. So yeah, these are the cards you could potentially get. Which, I mean, if he comes out as an unlockable character, which is probably apparent, everybody is saying that in February. So when he's finally unlockable, these cards might just be in the game. So you might be able to get them. There's no rush to get these, but maybe you might want to get 1 copy of Illuminite over here. So Illuminite looks like a pretty cool card. It just says once per turn you can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card, send 1 card from your hand to the grave, and if you do, draw a card. I can see some versatility in it. Also the fact that it's a 2400 beater, so that's pretty cool. The only thing that kind of sucks is that it requires 3 level 4 monsters. If you're willing to put in 3 level 4 monsters to summon 1 2400 monster that could get Raigeki Break or a Karma Cutted, a Floodgated, it can get messed up in any possible way. If you're willing to commit to summon this guy just to discard a card and potentially draw, then GG, man. I mean, good luck. May good fortune be on your side. But yeah, Illuminite, it's a pretty cool card, I guess. I mean, yeah, but if it was 2 level 4s, I would say, yeah, it's a really cool. But it's 3 level 4s, so it's a little bit too expensive for my taste. So there's that guy, and then we also have Photon Crusher, who is another card that's kind of lackluster. I was kind of hoping we'd get some of his like really interesting support, like that Paladynamo that I see him use on me every time and shuts down like 4 of my decks. It is so annoying. But yeah, so this guy is pretty simple. It just says if this card attacks, change the defense position and a damage step. Pretty terrible, honestly. Pretty bad. It's like we've already kind of gone past the point where we have 2000 monsters with negative conditions. But the only benefit of this guy is that he is a Photon monster. So he is part of the Photon name, so you might want to collect him because he might work with the Photon archetype. And by the time we get the Photon cards, I mean, they might be pretty limited until we get them in a box. So yeah, this might be one of your few Photon monsters, so it might be kind of worth it. Okay, so why am I on this window? It's because I have a few decks to show off. Basically, I've tried, and I'm not even showing you guys the decks that I've actually erased and overwrote with a newer deck. But yeah, I had the Lunalight farm, a super heavy farm, and I had this new hazy farm that actually does work. This one I can show you guys in a bit. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys right now. So you could potentially use this. This is a deck that I was using. This is a concept deck where I tried going with like new hazies that just summon Vassal Trice. That works. You could just summon a Vassal Trice, maybe 2. But you do have to be careful because if he does attack you with his Photon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and he attacks Vassal Trice, and Vassal Trice has less than what, like 4 materials? I think he needs 4 materials exactly, or more, so he can't be targeted by the other guy's effect, also so he can be stronger. So yeah, dude, if he has less, you're screwed, and he's coming out at like 4,500 attack. You're gonna regret it. So that's why I'm like, that's why I'm saying you really have to commit with Vassal Trice. That's why I wanted to make a hazy deck, because Paladynamo does not mess you up with hazies. because he can't target you, and that's pretty cool. So you summon all these hazy monsters, do your shenanigans. I eventually started throwing in like Flame Tiger and Dinotherium because I decided to throw in a good old blast from the past, Beast Rising. Dude, I was like, you know what, it's been a while since I've used Beast Rising in one of these decks, and yeah, so I threw that in. I also tried the whole what's his name, Vassal engine. That worked a bit, kind of, not really, because Hazy's it doesn't mix well. It just doesn't mix well. Also because of Hazy Flame Sphinx and her ability to mill, you never know if you're gonna mill one of the actual important farm cards. So that's what made me basically say, no, I can't run Vassal in this deck if I'm gonna be using Sphinx. You could run it, but you will never be using Sphinx's ability because there's no way to know what is actually available. Now the skill I'm using, don't worry about it. You can actually go skillless. I'm just using Dual Fuel because it's better than nothing, and I don't have any of his life point boost alpha skill and whatever. So yeah, it's the best I got. So let's go ahead and actually show you guys the deck that I am recommending. And this is the deck. This is pretty much the deck. We have 3 copies of Ally of Justice Core Destroyer. Eventually, after failing with like 8 different decks and just many hours of failure, also for whatever reason, I don't know. Let me know if it's the same for you guys. I don't know if Duel Links is kind of crashing today, or I don't know if it was just my stuff, but my internet is working fine. I don't know, dude, and especially with 8 hours of grinding, I would have gotten so much more done if I didn't have so much lag. But yeah, so here's the thing. I'm running Ally of Justice Core Destroyer, which a lot of you guys might not have it because this is an event card. This is from the Tag Duel tournament, so you might not have it. So one thing I could recommend is you can actually replace it with Ally of Justice Unknown Crusher. Now here's the thing. The difference between this guy and this guy is that this guy his effect activates to destroy a light monster before damage calc. So, or before a damage step, I mean. So that means you don't take damage, pretty much. That's the only difference. You don't take damage, it just attacks, kills whatever. If it's light, it's gone, dude. Now this guy, on the other hand, he does take the damage, and he's also, well, he's also 1200, just like this guy. So if you can run something like Power of the Guardians in your deck and make him strong, and then you're pretty much safe. He's not going to be destroyed by anything. He's pretty much safe for Paladynamo as well. I also tried making a build focusing 100% on Ally of Justice Omni Weapon. Now, I liked Omni Weapon. He's really cool. He's really interesting in this deck because all you do is you somehow tribute him out. It's not hard in this deck, especially if you are playing something like this or like something like this, because you can have your Unknown Crusher. He'll be out. Your opponent might hesitate to attack him because he knows it's going to get his monster banished. So you can tribute. You would be able to summon this guy. 2200, which is already stronger than most of his things, even the extra deck stuff. So he's 2200, pretty good. And also, whenever he battles a light monster and destroys it, you draw a card, which is really nice. Now, why would I not run this card? Because it's mandatory, so your opponent can actually use it against you when you have 1 card left in deck. It's the final turn. You pass turn, your opponent summons any monster and crashes it right into this guy, which will then make you draw your last card, and then you lose by deck out, which is really annoying. So if you do want to run Ally Justice Omni Weapon, I would recommend running something like Econ or something to just at least shut him down on that last turn. You only need it on the last turn, so you should be good, and you should have that card by that time. But yeah, because it's so annoying. It is so annoying, dude. But yeah, so there's that. Also, if you're running this guy, you do not need Leeching the Light, which is a card that you use to pretty much steal the power of his monster and give it to your monsters, making them huge. Now, the engine of this deck, if you guys are wondering, you're looking at it and you're like, what are you doing with these cards? Now, the synergy here is you go for Mixeroid, Mixeroid, you summon him, you tribute him immediately, you summon a UFO-roid, put it in defense, or attack if you like to live dangerously. But I put him in defense, and then my opponent's going to attack him, and when he gets destroyed, you summon a monster, or machine-type monster with 1500 or less attack from the deck in face-up attack position. So you basically summon this guy directly. So it's a whole ladder system. You go 1, 2 into 3, and you only really need 2 of them on the field. You don't really need 3 copies of this guy ever. Not really. Maybe you'll need the 3rd one as a backup in your hand, just in case he hits you with that Paladynamo, negates you, and destroys your monster. Then maybe you can summon it and attack the Paladynamo and get stuff out of the way. but you should be good. This card is pretty much safe against everything, so that's why he's so good. But like I said, if you don't have it, there are a few workarounds, but it becomes a little bit more complex. It becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, I'm also running this card right here, Cat of Ill Omen. I'm running this because this card is amazing against him. Eventually, I started throwing this in every deck that I started using to farm him because screw his light monsters. He runs all light monsters, so you just run this and he becomes an Unga Bunga player. His cards do nothing to you. They have no effects. So Light Imprisoning Mirror, really cool card. It's good to shut him down. Everything else is just pretty much draw power. Farm cards. I like Exchange. I was actually also using, let me see bits of my history. As you can see, I've been tweaking a lot of stuff, dude. I tried making a trap monster deck. I tried full-on super heavy samurai multiple times, multiple different builds. Didn't work. And yeah, dude, I've tried a lot. I've been working on this for like 8 hours. So if you would like to leave a like, I would appreciate it because it's not worth it. But yeah. Fair enough. I might as well put out the video either way. I mean, I wanted to work on it either way. I've been working on so many different decks, tweaking stuff and whatever. None of them work. They were all terrible. They were all garbage. But I also tried using Debunk eventually to get rid of the Karibo because he has his Photon Karibo, and you can use Debunk on that last turn. So when he activates it, you negate it with Debunk, or you could just use Exchange, which I think is just easier because you don't have to draw it. You don't have to be you don't have to be in danger for that last turn. Only downside is you do have to have a card to exchange. So you have to have one final card in your hand to give him. And you got to make sure it's not going to be one of your farm cards, because if you give him a farm card, you're screwed. So you use all these cards first. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Alright, so here is Kite. I was using Bronk on this one because, yeah, became the only one. I actually don't have a lot of the skills I need to farm this guy. Like, I tried using Duel, completely inconsistent, doesn't work because no consistency. But yeah, a lot of the things are missing skills. But in this situation, as you can see, I'm going first. A really good thing you can do is just summon the Mixer. Mixer summons UFO. And yeah, you're pretty much set up. You played from the deck and you're good. So now, his turn, he would destroy it. He would summon a free copy of Core Destroyer or any other machine you really want. You can technically summon Mixer, which can then summon another UFO, but I didn't want to. I wanted to cut out the middleman and go straight for the Core Destroyer. Also, going for the draw power, just put him back in the deck. Don't worry about it. You're eventually just going to want housekeepings in the grave so you can do your stuff. Also, don't attack him because you need the point damage for your little Gravekeeper boy, dude. So he's doing whatever he wants to do. Don't worry. There's absolutely nothing he can do aside from maybe Paladynamo deal 2,000 damage, which you gotta just be careful of that. So yeah, if you really want, you can run some kind of like life point boost skill if you'd like. You can literally run this skill list. But yeah, he's doing whatever he can to just make progress, but he doesn't really do too much. So all that just to play monster defense. Now my monster attacks, kills it, bam, moving, and that's pretty much it. You pretty much just attack over and over with the Allied Justice Core Destroyer. The other cards are just to add consistency to get this card as soon as possible, and he literally only has one way out, and then that's why I run through. So if you don't have this, remember I said you can try the Mammoth or the 2200 guy, but you gotta be careful when you run those because he can mess you up, dude. He can. So this guy is the safest. So if you have it, awesome. If not, maybe stick around. I'll show you guys the other, like the potential hazy build that you guys might actually have. So I'll show you guys like a video on or a replay on that duel. So he's doing the whole thing. He went for Galaxy. Unfortunately, this doesn't have an animation. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon needs an animation. He really does. But I guess he'll be here in like February or whenever Kite actually comes to the game and as an unlockable character. So at this point, I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to set that for draws. I'm setting that just to not have it in hand. Attacking, he can banish. So this is where I learned that he can still banish. Attack into the other guy just to get him off the field. Fortunately, my monster does come back. Nothing was lost, really. So yeah, it's pretty much Stardust, kind of. But when he does his whole like tag out when he tried to destroy. But he's for battle. And so Galaxy Eyes Photon is really cool. So yeah, at this point, I don't really want to attack his monster. So I'm just going to use that, turn him into a Blue Eyes at this point. And I don't even want to attack. I could attack. I could literally kill his Photon Dragon, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is just keep battling, take out his other thing so he can't go Pallet Dynamo on me, and keep this guy on the board so I can potentially make use of it with Leeching the Light. So at this point, we are already close to that final turn, and let's draw, and it's time to pop off. So you're going to use all these cards first, especially your Secret Pass. Use that first. You use all your Union attacks, use those to power up. Then after you used all that, you can then start using your Leeching the Light and Exchange. But you can't use the other one first, but you want to steal the Karibo, by the way. Gotta take that Curry Photon because screw this card, dude. It's really annoying. It blocks all damage, so it's really, really scary. I just use a skill for the memes, attacking for huge damage, and GG. It's a very, very simple farm. All you gotta do is sit on your Ally of Justice Core Destroyer. Here's the score for this deck. As you can see, very, very nice score. It's very, very strong, and it's pretty consistent. It's really consistent, actually. So, yeah, let's show off Hazies. Okay, I lied. The other one is not a Hazy replay. I apparently didn't save that one, but that one gives you about 7,000 points. It is pretty straightforward, though. You basically just summon your Sphinx or whatever. You power them up with Beast Rising, make them like 10,000 attack, and yeah, if you want XCs, go ahead. If not, you're fine either way. You just got to run a bunch of Beast Warriors, Beasts for it to work with Beast Rising, so you can't go full Hazy on them because Hazies are like dinosaurs and pyros, wing beasts. They're a bunch of weird stuff, so you gotta stick to those. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I spent 8 hours making this, so I would appreciate if you guys left the like and subscribe. I put a lot of effort into this stuff to try to make it work, but yeah, dude, my soul hurts. My soul hurts, and I have family coming over in like 3 hours. So yeah, no stream today, by the way. I was trying. I was really trying, dude. I was really, look at me running traps in Hazy, and not Hazies, in Super Heavy Samurai, but whatever. That's pretty much it. And if you guys enjoyed, go and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Duel Link shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys. I'm going to bed.